for another week, the Minnesota Vikings have dominated a great team. Sam Darnold is playing MVP caliber football. The Brian Flores defense is dominating quarterbacks week over week over week. No matter how good you are, they're making you look silly. One of the best offensive lines in football, the best receiver in all of football. There's not a weakness to the Minnesota Vikings, and yet people still don't take them serious. Are the Minnesota Vikings real contenders? Tom, get us started. What do you think?
So the argument against the Vikings this whole time has been that I think that people just have a sense of regular season fraud about them, like just for some reason. And a lot of that is because Sam Darnold. We've never seen this guy in high pressure situations, in playoff situations. But I mean, to this point, what has he done to show that he can't deliver when you need him to? I mean, in a divisional game against a tough Green Bay Packers team, 377 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. And I mean, his turnovers have historically been an issue, but since week 11, he's had 2 interceptions and a lot of touchdowns. I'm not going to do the math right now, but a lot of touchdowns. So he's cut back on his issues. He's gotten better as the season's gone on. And I mean, let's look at the NFC. They just beat the Packers. Lions are hobbled. He ran. So they just beat the Packers. They've got the Lions coming up this week, and I mean, if they beat both of those teams going into the playoffs, that's a ton of great momentum going into a home playoff game for Sam Darnold's first playoff game.
Hell yeah, bro.
I mean, really, who's standing in their way in the NFC? The Eagles. Okay. Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
So
they've already shown that they can handle, like throttle the Packers.
Right.
Like the Packers can't hang with them. I don't think anyone's afraid of I hate to say it, I don't think anyone's afraid of the Bucs.
Yeah.
I think I changed my mind on them a little bit.
the Bucs or the
Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
Think I changed my mind a little bit on them. They were originally below the Lions in the contender tier. Am I crazy for this? Maybe. The Vikings are in my contender tier, real contender tier, and they're above the Detroit Lions. Like, I'm in on this team. Kevin O'Connell is one of the best coaches in the NFL. I mean, Sam Darnold, look, I get it. It's regular season football, but, dude, Kevin O'Connell can scheme any one of us on this couch open.
Pause.
And I'm not just talking about me and Pete. I'm talking about y'all too as well. I mean, so it's this team is legit. There's not a weakness. They're elite in run defense. Their pass defense has improved every single week. I mean, Brian Flores makes these vet quarterbacks look silly. Young quarterbacks look silly. It doesn't matter. The offensive line is legit. You got Justin Jefferson, the best receiver in all of football. Aaron Jones, Ty Chandler, Cam Akers. It don't matter. They're getting 7 yards a carry.
No, they got it, bro.
So Vikings are legit. They're here to stay. Look, it's always just the Sam Darnold thing. I get it. Like, I understand.
There's just going to be a little bit of hesitancy with it.
It's just,
whatever.
I find it so like disrespectful and like fucked up that like so many people aren't putting respect on Vikings name. Like it doesn't make sense. Like it's like the star. What do you call it? Like the sorry stepchild or like the sorry middle child. Yeah, like it's just like it's like you're doing everything in your power to show like you're
right,
like what you're worth, and it's like. It's like, oh, nah, yeah, but like, you know, like it's like yeah, you know what? Like they're fucking winning.
Darnold problem.
Yeah.
It is.
They're a good team. They're winning. They're doing everything in their power to show that, hey, we're a fucking winning team, and they need to be respected for it. I think at this point, it's not even like a debate. Like they're a good fucking team.
Well, you know they're good. It's just, do you think they're Super Bowl?
Does it translate to a playoff situation? Like,
look,
do they enter a Super Bowl contender conversation?
The only fucking team that I could even say is like a guaranteed Super Bowl contender is the fucking Chiefs.
And the Eagles.
So, and I wouldn't, bro. Not. I mean, we've seen the Eagles, fumble a few times, not come through. So I wouldn't say they're like
different last year.
Right
different
there.
Team, yeah.
I wouldn't say they're right there with the fucking Chiefs. Like, yeah, they're there, but
they have Cooper DeJean now, all right?
Would the Vikings put up a fight against them? I wouldn't even say putting a fight. Would they? Would it be a fucking
be a banger of a game?
A banger. Hell yeah. So why are we even like? I think the only team that we could say is a fucking lock is the Chiefs, and everybody under there I think is fair game, bro. Fair game, including the fucking Vikings. Like at this point, it shouldn't even be like a crazy debate whether or not the Vikings have that chance.
I think the Vikings beat the Lions next week, by the way.
It's like, and I love the Lions,
I'd
bro.
pick them,
I think
yeah.
they're just a better
super
football team
high.
right now.
If I could buy Lions stock, bro, I would fucking go all in.
The injuries
But-
suck, man. They really
But
do.
it is possible that like the Vikings could fucking compete against them. Like that's what I mean. So I think the only team that is untouchable, like because they kissing the refs, the whole fucking jokes and everything, is the Chiefs. Chiefs are Patrick Mahomes. But other than that, it's fair game under there. Everything under is fair game, bro.
Curious as to what you say.
Including the Vikings.
Yeah.
This performance this past week was probably their best win of the year for me. I mean, given the stakes to stay alive in the 1 seed race, given the opponent, a divisional game against the Packers, and they, the scoreboard would lend you to believe that it was a close game. This was a good old fashioned ass whooping. I mean, they dominated every aspect of the game, and Sam Darnold, since about week 11, what is he like? 15 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He's playing near perfect football, like you mentioned. They have a great offensive line. I don't know if in this game in particular it was a product of their offensive line or more of a product of the Packers' pass rush just not being that good. But I mean, Sam Darnold was throwing out of like spotless pockets.
Clean.
Not even just clean, spotless, no crumbs. Ate and left no crumbs. But
Like me.
I mean, the offense is creative. KOC's doing a number on this offense. The play calling's creative. Sam Darnold's delivering. You have all those weapons, and then this defense.
2 of the best receivers in football.
Yeah, and I mean, and then this defense is. I mean, you can make an argument right now they're the best defense in the NFL in terms of EPA per play against the pass. They're sixth best, and then in terms of EPA per play against the run, they're the best defense in the NFL. Brian Flores is, with the disguises and stuff, like you mentioned, rookie quarterback, veteran quarterback, it doesn't matter. He has these guys confused week in and week out. They have the personnel to be able to, put out this type of scheme where you don't know where the heat is going to come from. You don't know who's going to drop into coverage. You have a guy like Andrew Van Ginkel, and, as a Dolphins fan, I know about him. He's as hybrid of a player as you could get. He's a great pass rusher, but he also does a great job when he drops back into coverage. And you have a bunch of guys like that. You have Harrison Smith, who's a Swiss Army knife at safety. Cam Bynum leading the what's it called, dance practice, but also leading this defense awesome, in the secondary. You have Byron Murphy. You have Stephon Gilmore, who's, I mean, the guy just doesn't age. He just doesn't age. He's locking down number 1 receivers week in and week out, and I'm impressed by the Vikings. I'm higher on, obviously, after a win like this, you're a little bit higher on them than you were the week before, obviously, because they just keep doing it.
Yeah.
But to put them in that real contender category, for me, it depends on what happens this week. And
that's fair. That's definitely fair.
What I mean by that, though, is it's not like beat the Lions and it's like, okay, you could beat the Lions, now you're a real contender, but it's about
more than that,
it's about getting the 1 seed.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how I feel about Sam Darnold going on the road to Detroit, going on the road to Philly. If you're the 5 seed, you're on the road for the entire playoffs, basically. Yeah. You're on the road for the entire play, unless there's any other upsets. But if you're the 5 seed, right? Those Minnesota fans are wild.
They are insane,
right? So that's true. I don't have an answer right now because I think that's a huge factor in this.
Yeah,
I think. Listen, as great as he's playing as the 5 seed, if you have to again go into Philly or go into Detroit, I don't know if they
can crumble.
Yeah, I don't know if they could get to the Super Bowl. But if they have the home fans behind them for the entire playoffs, if they're the 1 seed, and again they'd be en route to doing so. They'd be beating a great team in the Detroit Lions this coming week. Yeah. If they win this week, I think I could put them in that category. But I think as we stand right now, I still. It's just, like you guys said, like as great as he's playing, I always say you need to have elite quarterback play to win a Super Bowl, and that doesn't mean you have to be a top 5 quarterback like consensusly ranked. You have to be playing like a top 5 quarterback.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And right now he is playing like that, and that's why they keep winning games. Yeah. But again, the going gets a little bit tougher come playoff time. So I'm not there yet. And I know we've had 17 weeks to get there, and that might be a lazy.
They have beaten a lot of really good teams.
They've beaten great teams.
They've beaten some great teams out there.
That's why it's so confusing to me that, like...
I just don't... again,
it's
like,
Sam Darnold. I get it.
Again, like
But like he's
the difference in the 5 seed and the
Playoffs is so
1 seed is
It is
such a
different.
huge
I get
difference,
that.
especially for
Yeah.
this team.
100%.
Like
yeah.
they have some of the best fans in the world. Like we saw it in this game. They were at home against the Packers, and I'm pretty sure they're home against Detroit, or is Detroit home? Detroit's home. Detroit's home. They're on the road, so
Yes.
Yeah.
so this is a big test for them. And I know again we've had 17 weeks to see this team tested, and they've responded every single time. So it might be a lazy answer from me, just not having an answer. But it's Sam Darnold, bro. Like,
Yeah, it's just like so. You said it perfect. Like you don't need a top 5 quarterback to win a Super Bowl, but you have to have a guy playing elite quarterback
Yes.
to
Most
win
definitely.
a Super Bowl. Like Nick
Yeah.
Foles has won a Super Bowl.
Right.
Even Eli Manning wasn't, a top 5 quarterback
Mm-hmm.
when he won 2 Super Bowls. But
Yeah.
damn, he played well for stretches of games, and you have to have a guy that can do that. I mean, Sam Darnold's got 4,000 yards and a 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio on 68% completion percent. The guy's playing elite football. Like that.
he's playing like a top 10 quarterback,
Right.
no question, and you could have the conversation that he's been a top 5 quarterback
And
this
bro,
year.
some of the
Sure, yeah.
throws that he makes
Yeah.
are just silly, bro.
Yeah, his deep balls.
Right, the
insane.
stats back it up, and the eye test backs it up
Right.
for him this
Silly
year.
throws.
100%.
So, like, yeah, I guess it's like I don't know. Do you want to take the gamble and be wrong about it if they go and choke, or do you want to try and get in early?
I'm
Yeah.
wrong a
And-
lot, so I'm willing to take. the
Yeah, I mean,
gamble
at
and
this
be
point,
in
what's
on
another
it.
L?
Exactly. Like so.
But I get what you're saying. I mean, I think if we're saying that if they win next week, then they're a contender, I think that makes them a contender because we all think they have a good shot at winning next week. So I'm gonna lean towards that side.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
And again, for me, it's not, like I said, it's not really about the win next week. It's about having home
Right.
field for the playoffs. Like that
Yeah, that's
matters so
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
That's why,
100%.
like, you look at the Chiefs who locked up the 1 seed in the AFC. The Chiefs, I'd probably go out on a limb here and say, are 98% guaranteed to be in the AFC Championship already.
yeah,
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, just from getting that, like, it's a huge, huge, huge difference.
Yeah,
So.
for sure.
who is the worst potential remaining team? Who's that 4-5 matchup in the AFC? Is it the Steelers and
Steelers,
Texans?
but I think the Chargers could get up to the 5, and the Steelers could
I
drop
thought the
down to 6.
Texans were. Oh no, Texans.
Texans are locked at
Hey,
4.
man,
Yeah,
you don't
right,
want to
right,
see
right,
the
right.
Chargers
They
in
won't-
that second
yeah.
round of the playoffs, brother.
But
Who, the Chiefs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to see the Chargers.
Yeah.
Nah, real talk though, I do think I'm in on the Vikings. I'm ready to be wrong about them, and that's perfectly okay with me because I just think they're better than the Lions now. The injuries, like I'm out on the Lions fully as a Super Bowl contender. I'm out. I'm
Yeah.
done. They're out.
I think the NFC is
Bro, the-
wide open. I think the Eagles are the favorite.
I'm to the point where I
You know
think
what?
it's the Eagles or the Vikings.
You know what? The
But
one thing.
I think
man.
as much as they haven't been able to beat a great team, I think the Packers
They could get
hot
very
and do
hot.
it.
No, I will
Very
say.
hot.
All right.
You know how we both feel. I think all of us feel about the Rams,
yeah.
I haven't even. I don't
and
even.
you guys know how I feel about Jaden motherfucking Daniels. Like,
See,
You guys
that
know how I
team
feel about Baker.
that team. I
yeah,
think,
Baker.
wanna-
I agree.
No, bro,
I
stop.
agree.
Bro,
I agree.
Stop.
Baker can pull off an upset.
I
100%.
agree.
and upset.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
And
they're
he
I'm
win
not saying
3
they're
playoff
contenders.
games to
No,
get
I
to the
didn't
Super
say
Bowl.
that, but like
no,
you
no,
could-
but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I think there are realistically 3 teams.
I think all of these teams in the NFC, every single one of them, you can have legitimate questions and concerns
Yeah.
about can they win 3 games to get to the
100%.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's
Every
what I-
single one of
That
them.
was my
Agreed.
that was my point from the start. Like that's
I don't
why.
think. Why do you have
Why
those
would I
questions
rank
about
any
the
of these
Eagles?
teams above each other?
I think the Eagles are the Eagles are the only one. I
Okay.
think the Eagles are like like I said,
They're
the
the
Eagles are
favorite,
the
yeah.
favorite in the NFC.
Yeah. But
second.
that's
But
what I'm saying. Like we
also-
shouldn't be
Is Ja-
questioning whether they
Is
can win
Jalen-
3 playoff
Is
games.
Jalen Hurts coming back? Like what the
Yeah,
fuck's
he's
No,
going
gonna
on?
get
yeah,
cut.
because
He'll be
he's coming
back,
back next
yeah.
week probably.
From a concussion?
Well, he's probably not going to play.
Well, no, he's
next
probably not
week.
gonna play next week. Yeah.
Well, they're locked
He'll be
into the
fine.
2, so
Yeah,
they'll
he's
sit out
probably
anyway.
not
Yeah,
going
he'll
to
be
play
fine.
next week.
Word.
but-
Okay. Well, all right. So the one thing about the Lions, though, you guys know how much I love the Lions.
Right.
But if you're gonna let a team like the 49ers in the position that they're in and the way they've been playing this season put up that many points,
There you go.
that's fucking
Yeah, their
concerning.
defense is cooked.
Yeah.
That's
Dude.
concerning, bro.
Yeah.
Purdy had almost 0 pressure all night, and their offensive line didn't have Trent, didn't have half their starters. And we're gonna sit here and say that the Lions are legitimate contenders
That-
when you face
That's
a
the-
Vikings
yeah.
offensive line, when you face an Eagles offensive line that will move bodies.
That's the
Not just keep
only
you from a guy,
reason-
move bodies.
Buccaneers
That's the
offensive
only-
line.
Buccaneers offensive line as well. Yeah,
Yes,
like
that's the only reason I'll put any down the lines because what the fuck? How many?
Right, that's
I know
Packers-
they won.
Packers whole line.
I know,
Right,
that, I know
that's
they
what I'm
won,
saying. I
but they
feel
let
like
up a lot
there's-
of fucking points. That was closer than it should have been, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
That
out on the
was-
lines.
yeah.
If
Yeah.
they were healthy, I'm in. I'm
Yeah,
all in.
100%.
But
Yeah.
I'm out on the lines as
I
a Super Bowl
think-
contender. Like
Truthfully, I think out of all the teams we're talking about, the offense is great. It's gonna come down to
The
like
offense is the best out of anyone.
I was gonna say it's gonna come down to a classic defense wins games. I really do think
Yeah.
that's what this fucking playoff run is gonna be. The defense is gonna win. The defenses of these teams is what's gonna bring them to the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's all it's gonna come down to because all the offenses are fucking amazing.
yeah,
It's
'Cause the
really gonna. The
offenses-
defense is gonna win the games for
all of
teams.
these offenses in the NFC not only could score a shit, all of them, all 7 of them that are going to make
Yes,
the playoffs,
yeah,
can
absolutely.
all score a shit ton of points. But
The defense,
even deeper than that, they're all great at controlling the ball in time of possession.
yeah.
I mean, we saw it with the Commanders on Sunday night. They basically
Well,
had the ball.
opening drive was what, 8 minutes?
Yeah, they basically
Nuts.
had the ball the entire second half.
You know how like
That too.
low
like
key
that-
like you know how low key hard that is to
You know,
do.
the Packers
An
with their
8-minute
run
drive?
game, the Packers can control the clock if they, if the run game's moving.
The Bucks we never would have expected.
Right,
Their
but
run
they
game
could
has come
control the
alive.
clock. The Lions, obviously.
Of
The
course.
Eagles, obviously.
And Monty
the
might be back.
Vikings, obviously.
Monty
look
might be
great.
back
Like,
too.
all of these teams not only could score a shit ton of points, but they could also wear your defense out with the way they
We
can.
know what
control it.
Saquon can do.
Yeah.
I really do think the NFC is wide fucking open. That's why it's like
Yeah.
I'm with
I
you.
kind of have right now, like for me, it was the Eagles and Lions, but then the Lions got hurt. So I do think the Eagles are the clear favorite, but I really do think it's so wide open that I have a tough time calling anyone a contender
Me
right
either,
now.
bro. Me
Like,
either. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's genuinely fair game. Anybody under the Chiefs is just fair game.
So it's either like everyone's a contender or no one's a contender.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
So like, real quick, just the AFC. Like, is it
For me,
Chiefs
it's just the Chiefs and Bills.
and everyone else?
It's the Chiefs
Chiefs-
and Bills.
I don't have the
Chiefs.
Bills up there. Right.
I do.
For
like,
what?
I-
Super Bowl?
That defense is butt ass
Super
booty
Bowl?
cheeks, brother.
On the Bills.
I don't
That
think the Bills-
defense can't stop a nosebleed.
Yeah, but they got Josh Allen.
I mean, I love Josh, but this is
Can't stop a nosebleed. No,
Like-
I mean, I know a couple weeks ago I was saying it was going to be the Lions and the Chiefs, and I'll put money on it, and I'm still going to put money on it because I love the Lions, even though they let the Niners put up that many points. I still have hope because like I just love the Lions. It's a very I love the Lions bias pick, but I can't agree with the Eagles being a lot more.
they are
projected to
far
make
and
the
away,
Super
in
Bowl.
my opinion, the best roster in the NFL.
Like I will,
Like-
if I am gonna put money on it, like I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna do
I
the
think if we
Eagles
go
and the Lions.
roster for pound, we could have the conversation with the Vikings and the Eagles.
So I would say second best roster is probably the Vikings.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
Yeah.
like I don't think they're clear cut the best roster. You know what I
I
mean?
don't think anything's clear.
Like I think
other than
the
Chiefs.
Vikings like pound for pound every position
Every position,
group,
it's
the
right
Vikings
there,
are right
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I agree.
Maybe Saquon's the deciding factor, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
about it.
You
Even
know,
Jalen.
yeah.
Even Jalen. I mean, like.
But the way Sam Darnold's objectively playing better than
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts right now.
Yeah.
Wait.
He is,
We're
yeah.
forgetting about fucking Devontae Smith. Oh, is he injured now?
well, we
or-
weren't.
He's
No,
still
we're not
there, but
forgetting about
the
Smitty.
Vikings
Smitty's a
have
boss.
Addison-
fucking
Addison
Jettas and
Fitzgerald.
They have
Addison.
Jettas and Addison, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
Like the wide receiver
I'm saying-
rooms are
we're
right
talking
there.
about
all day.
arguably the two best
No,
duos
no,
in.
no, I'm not. I'm not
the
going
wide
against the
receiver
Vikings. I'm saying you were saying it might come down to Saquon, but also like the Eagles have weapons.
No, I'm
at wide
saying just the
receiver, too,
difference
just
in
the
like
difference in the
comparing
running
their
backs.
rosters.
Yeah.
Like what might make us say the Eagles are the better roster.
Yeah.
Saquon is the difference
versus Aaron
there,
Jones
yeah.
and the rest of the crew. Yeah, I mean, I think it's
Yeah,
It's
everything
funny
else
because-
is kind of
Because
marginal.
Saquon will outweigh Aaron Jones, and then like obviously Justin Jefferson will outweigh like what's it
don't-
called?
I don't know
say-
if he
don't say
outweighs
that.
AJ Brown, bro.
a
Like,
lot of people disagree
no,
with you
not
on that.
Not that. No,
A
well,
lot of people around here disagree with you on
I
that.
don't know.
but yeah.
When I say outweigh, I mean
around
like
those
I mean
TikTok
like
comments, brother.
Yeah.
no, because bro, I'm a huge.
I think just
AJ
the
Brown
pass
fan.
catchers as a whole, you could probably say is a push.
It's a
but-
push.
It's a
It is a
push.
push.
It really is a fucking push. Yeah.
Marginal, yeah.
But like
Bro, Grant
The-
Calcaterra, that catch that he made, that was wild.
Yeah.
That
But
was
the
wild.
run games as a whole, like it's night and day. The Eagles' run game is just
Yeah.
levels above
Yes.
the Vikings
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. The
I
Vikings'
agree.
run game is not really.
And then
all
the,
that.
the
But
two
also
best
the-
run defenses you could argue in the NFL.
The Vikings passing game is also, I wouldn't say it's night and day, but it's pretty up there compared to the Eagles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
that's a
no,
good
you're not
point
wrong.
too.
So
Yeah,
it's
it's
kind of
better.
like,
You're 100% right on
it's
that.
kind of
but-
like, it's going to be fucking, it's going to be
No,
a
but
great matchup
yeah,
if
I
that's the case.
completely agree with you. Like the way he's playing right now, I'm not counting out Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers.
I'll
I'm
never
just
count out Baker
not. I'm
Mayfield.
just not.
No,
The reason
I'm
I took
counting
that guy
Bucks.
in
I'm
every
just
fucking
not.
fantasy draft.
Like
Can't do it.
Bucks
yeah.
don't have a
the
shot.
way he's playing, their defense again, like I don't think any of these defenses are really bad. Like, I guess the Lions, given the injury, the Lions probably have the
Bad.
worst defense out of the group.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You know, the
Worst
Commanders
defense and best
I hate to see
offense.
it.
out
The
of group,
Commanders
yes.
defense comes around every single week,
Yeah.
like, and hopefully Lattimore's back for playoff time. That's kind of the deciding factor with them if they can win a few games or not. But
Yeah.
Glad he can
like,
stay
I
healthy
really
right now.
think besides the Eagles, I think all of these teams can win 2 playoff games. I don't know if they can win 3 playoff
Yeah,
games and
yeah,
get to the
exactly.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, I believe Baker Mayfield could go on a little mini run. I don't know if
I
he could
think
go
so,
all the
too.
way to the
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
I
Jaden
completely
Daniels
agree.
and the Commanders, I think they could upset a team or two, but I don't think they could go to the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold and the Vikings, I think they could win a few playoff games. I don't know if they could go. Like, I feel the same way. The only one is really the Eagles, who I think are probably the favorite.
They
Like,
are, and they should be. They-
like, if I had to pick right now, I'd probably pick the Eagles. But again, I don't really feel that good. I think it's wide open, man. I really do. And I know that's probably lazy analysis, but
I just also have to say, like, organizational competence with the Vikings too this season. Losing Christian Darrisaw for the entire year, and then you go ahead and say, all right, we're going to trade for Cam Robinson, and Cam Robinson plays lights out football. Like, I mean, that is huge.
Yeah.
That saves your season.
Yeah.
Like, that needs to be stated as well. Organizational
but all
competence.
of these teams in the NFC, all of them, they're not.
No, they all have great
they're
organizations.
not like making the playoffs off, the back of Josh Allen or
Yes.
a great quarterback.
Very good
like,
teams.
They're making it off of being competent organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy the Commanders are in that mix, but here we are.
They have shifted gears.
Competent
Here we
so
are,
quickly,
yeah.
Commanders
dude.
in the same
Yeah.
sentence.
They're a season away
It's
from being.
insane.
I really do.
Yeah,
think
I don't know.
next
Like,
year.
the Vikings are definitely moving me,
Yeah.
but I just, oh man, because
It's gonna
it's
be a bloodbath in the NFC.
Because, like,
It's
when
gonna
we
be
say
fun.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
That's what it's
contender,
gonna
it's
be.
not just winning the 3 games or 2 games if they get the bye,
Win
but
the
it's
game.
winning the right. It's
Yeah.
winning the 1, which is just like, oh,
I really
man.
think, like, next to the Eagles, they are the most well equipped to potentially beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, I know in the end it's Patrick Mahomes, and I get it. Like, he's probably inevitable, but they're
Can you imagine
probably the most well
Sam
equipped.
Darnold is the.
See, I don't.
What
That'd
if,
be
what if
insane.
Sam Darnold is Mahomes' Eli?
That'd be crazy.
What if he can never get
Yeah,
past Sam
see,
Darnold?
like, I
Oh
don't-
my God.
Imagine that.
I don't think the recipe to beating the Chiefs is having a great all-around roster. I don't think that shit matter. I think to beat the Chiefs, you need to have fucking Josh Allen.
I was gonna
Like,
say,
you know what I
actually, you just
mean?
gotta- I think
Yeah.
you
You need to have at the end of the day, you need to have a guy who
You're
will
not going to
outdo
beat
I
them
mean,
in the X's and O's.
I get it.
You need a guy who
Yeah.
will outduel him.
I
Yeah.
get it, but
And realistically, for me, the only guy who can is Josh Allen. Like, I firmly believe, I know this is an NFC thing, I firmly believe the Super Bowl winner will be the Bills or the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's my stance
I
on it.
get
right
what you're
now.
saying. But we watched Nick Foles outduel Tom Brady in the Super Bowl because at the time he was playing like that dude.
Yeah, but
And Darnold is
Tom Brady ain't Pat Mahomes.
Mahomes ain't
Nah, I get it. I get it.
Darnold is playing
But,
like I will disregard
you,
that statement.
You say it all the time. Nick Foles' Super Bowl runs was the best fucking 4-game stretch you've ever fucking seen.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Sam Darnold is playing lights
Sam
out
Darnold's
football right
quite a
now.
bar. Yeah, that's
Four-game run, like, not just like a great
one of them, one of them.
stretch,
Yeah,
but like one of the best stretches of football you've ever seen in your life, bro.
Hey, KOC could have that boy
I
doing
don't
that.
know, man.
I'm just saying,
I don't
KOC
know.
could have that boy doing that. So physically
No, yeah, I
gifted,
get it.
Sam's up there. Physically gifted, Sam is up there.
Sam's cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. Again, the Vikings, like, shout out to them for exceeding everyone's expectations that anyone had for them
KOC
this
Coach of the
year.
Year?
I feel
Dan
like
Quinn's
So,
up there.
yeah, I
Dan
mean,
Quinn's up
There's a
there.
lot of
yeah,
Dan
a
Campbell's,
lot
Dan
of
Campbell's up
contenders.
there. I mean,
Dan Campbell's
keep,
definitely
Yeah.
up
keep the
there.
Lions through. What they've, especially if they get the 1 seed.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if the Vikings win next week,
They have-
it
he has to be.
It has to be
They're a
KOC,
15-2 football team.
Yeah, 15-2 doesn't win Coach of the Year. Sam Darnold, the quarterback.
Yeah, it
No
has
way.
to be. Has to
Um,
be.
so
Who would your guys' pick be in the NFC right now? You're the Eagles.
I'm the Eagles
I'd
100%.
probably be the Eagles right now as well.
Probably the Eagles as well.
boring, but yeah, probably
Yeah.
boring.
And
But
then after
yes,
the Eagles,
yeah.
like I said, I would have the Vikings.
Just yawn to that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's boring. Like you hate to see it when like it's like yeah, all these teams have a shot, but it's probably gonna be the Eagles, and then it is the Eagles. Like you want to see Sam
I'm
Darnold
not so
prevail.
sure it's that inevitable though.
No, I don't think so. No, I'm saying I don't think so either. But like we did all just pick the
But
Eagles.
they,
you know, like-
exactly, yeah. Because
Um,
in the end, they are, like I said, they're the best roster.
Yeah,
They're
they're
worried.
yeah. Even if it's only by a bit, like marginal difference, they're still better than ever. And they've been to the
And they've
Super
been
Bowl
there
before.
exactly,
Yeah, exactly.
and they've been there.
So
So
you know.
Thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff.
Make sure to check out our full-length podcast popping up on the screen right now.